So I'll start with the elephant in the room. That is the hoodie that sits upon my beautiful body right here. I got a custom burning hammer.
What's going on, everybody? It is your boys, the Burning Hammer boys. I'm Dylan. That's Mark. We're back. We are back. The duo's back. Been, slacking on my end on being present in the Burning Hammer universe. Just started a new job recently, but finally getting in the groove of things, so we should be back at it with some more consistent content. But Mark has been holding it down as always, making sure we have stuff out there on the regular. So before we get into this video where we go through some incredible wrestling finds, another wrestling haul for you guys, between the two of us we've gotten a handful of very cool items, some of them displayed behind you, and as you guys know, we add it all to the back display there. So before we get into that, just going to need you to go follow us on all socials at The Burning Hammer. On Twitter, we are at The Burnt Hammer. And then subscribe to our YouTube at The Burning Hammer Podcast. We appreciate every single bit of support we get from you guys. Tell your friends, because this wrestling is sick. Wrestling is sick.
So I'll start with the elephant in the room. That is the hoodie that sits upon my beautiful body right here. I got a custom burning hammer. As you can see, they're hitting the burning hammer logo hoodie right there, one of one. Basically, I made this by myself. It's an iron-on. Didn't cost that much. It was like the hoodie, I want to say it was around 15 bucks. It was a blank, and then you just get the stuff to iron on it. I wanted something to wear in videos so that when you see us, you see this logo, you see the burning hammer. So, potentially, we may make some more hoodies in the future. If you want a Burning Hammer hoodie, let us know in the comments down below. I've got a couple of cool ideas I'd like to get designed for t-shirts or hoodies or crew necks. So if you want to see that happen, let us know in the comments down below. And I'm going to transition to my next item because it is also a hoodie. All right, and although this is a hoodie, this one is not even a fraction as cool as the hoodie I'm wearing. And I've got the tie-dye AEW hoodie right here. I want to get a little close-up at this neck because it is a bit of a V-neck, and here's what happened with this. I was on ProWrestlingTees.com, and they have a bunch of options for mystery or botched items. I got a mystery hoodie, so it was either going to be a hoodie, a crew neck, or a zip-up jacket. You don't know what you're going to get, and I got this. A tie-dye hoodie, perfect time for the fall.
This might be a good giveaway item.
Potentially
honestly, neither of us are gonna wear it. This is probably gonna be a giveaway item. And this could be like maybe a 1,000 follower giveaway on Instagram. This could be a part of that. We'll throw in something else probably because we'll make it a little. But that's gonna be included.
It's rough on the eyes, but it is an AEW hoodie nonetheless. And
it's soft. It's very soft.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is an XL. Washed it once, fits like a small. I legitimately cannot wear this now, which was also kind of annoying because I would have at least worn it around my house. But now I can't wear this. It's way too small. Fits like a small. I washed it one time, which says a lot about the quality. But that is not to the fault of Pro Wrestling Tees. That is the gamble you take when you get any sort of mystery item. So please don't come at us, Pro Wrestling Tees.
First things first, on my half of the haul, we kind of have a little 2-for-1 sort of deal here. So I went to a small toy and collectible store in Northeast Philadelphia, and I made a couple of small purchases. They don't have too much wrestling stuff. They just kind of have a couple bins with a bunch of loose figures. They didn't have any box figures, just a ton of loose figures, but it was a solid price at $8 a figure. Some of them were marked a little bit cheaper and a little bit more expensive. Every now and then you'd find a sticker, but at $8 a figure, I think it was called like Toy Heaven or something like that in Northeast Philly. So it wasn't too bad of a place if you want to go there and grab some. I'm not necessarily plugging them. I'm just trying to help out our fellow wrestling connoisseurs who want to get some more stuff for their collection. But let's get right into the product. It's about damn time. Ooh, have mercy. Dude Love there. For your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, a 1998 Jax figure. Of course, Mick Foley, Mankind, Cactus Jack, and of course, the fourth persona is Dude Love, who you're looking at right now. It's got the button for the arm on the back here, and it's in incredibly good condition for being from 1998. It's got like the rubber legs, which it's really hard for paint to stay on these over the years, in my opinion. But it stayed on really well. Still got all the graphics and all the words on the tights and whatnot. And the reason that this is a little 2-for-1 because I grabbed this as well. This WWF scratch logo. I believe this is via 98 as well. Would you look at that? Same damn year. That's why I partnered them together. Had nothing to do with just in my mind knowing that Dude Love wrestled under this logo. But as you see, it has a little peg here that you can throw his foot on. Have some trouble standing up with these older figures, so I figured this would be a nice good purchase. I can throw this in the background as a little scratch logo, but for now we are going to use it to keep Dude Love standing upright. What a beautiful figure right there.
And something else too is a lot of times these older figures, they will be made with the purpose to put them on a stand. Like this.
Like you'll see, like
they'll have holes in their foot, so that's why it's sick that Dillon
it had
also
hole in its foot.
Also got the stand.
So, and that's the other thing too. I have a ton of wrestlers that have holes in their feet. They don't. It's not as common in the newer ones, but a lot of the older ones have it. So figure I could use this little display piece for pretty much any of my guys. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll have a wrestler of the week at some point, but. Yeah, this is a huge, huge find for my collection. Needed something Mick Foley. Next up is another beautiful figure for the collection. This one is via 1999 Jakks Pacific. It is the Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth When You're Talking to Me, you jabron. Anyway, what do we got here? Vintage The Rock, 1999. Know Your Role figure. He's got the t-shirt. On the back we got the Brahma Bull. This was such a fantastic find for my collection. Don't have a ton of Rock stuff, believe it or not. I'm not the biggest Rock fan. Not a hater by any means. Just not a huge direct fan of The Rock. Not one of my favorites. But easily one of the greatest of all time. I can definitely recognize that. And I saw this one, the Know Your Role shirt. It was a pretty unique figure. Haven't seen this one specifically a lot, and I had to grab it for the collection.
I'm gonna rip off two here because these were both birthday presents from my main man to my right. First off, we've got the Eddie Kingston Walmart exclusive action figure right here. Super sick. You got two separate heads on there. Eddie Kingston, a man of the people. You gotta love Eddie. Walmart exclusive. I'm super happy to have an Eddie Kingston figure in my collection. And I have become a champion. As you've seen with podcasts or some videos, we've got Big Gold, and now we've got another one of the best looking titles of all time. We've got the Winged Eagle Championship right here. This one, again, super sick. I'm gonna hang this up potentially in my room. If not, we're gonna hang it up on the wall here. But this is one of the toy titles for the children. However, it is super sick. This is some quality plastic. Let's get a little sound check. There you go. We've got Velcro to secure the strap to you. Now, I will say, the only thing I miss about the old toy titles is the leather strap when it was like that foam material.
Yeah, I thought the foam was good, honestly.
Yeah, I understand, I guess, why they did this, because it kind of looks a little more real, but...
Looks a little more like leather, but...
The old foam was always sick. And yeah, I guess it holds a special place in our hearts, because those are the titles we grew up with getting as children. But this one is super sick. Surprisingly, it does fit around my waist. I do have a fairly skinny waist, but again, I'm super happy to have this in my collection. And it's one of those where it's like, you kind of see it, and you kind of just have to buy it, which is kind of like what happens.
That's what because I've never seen, like, I hardly ever see the toy titles out in the wild, honestly, at this point. And whenever I do, it's never been that. It's always been the WWE, the Universal, or one of the women's, I feel like.
I've only ever seen the Intercontinental title.
Really? I've seen...
That's all I've ever seen. I'm not going to buy that.
I got this from Big Lots, and I actually saw the U.S. title there as well. But they had one winged eagle sitting in the back, and I had to grab that.
Yeah, so again, happy to have this in the collection. Shout out to Dillon.
Alrighty. Next up for me is something that I'm hanging up on my wall next to my desk. Or I might give it to my friend Mark here, depending on how things play out. But we got the 2024 WWE Superstars calendar. I'm sure many of you guys have seen this in your calendar stores, in your malls. After I bought it, I've been seeing it every single store I go into. But not a bad purchase at all, in my opinion. Go through some of the guys on the back here. Nothing major, I won't flip through the whole thing, but I will let you know that my birthday month is represented by the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Whoa! And we will celebrate my birthday on Good Friday. And it will be good. Because not even 10 days later, 8 days later, on April 7th, we will be live and in person when Cody Rhodes finishes that story.
That's right.
And it will be beautiful. But until then, I will just mark the date on the calendar that I'm going to put up on my wall.
Staying on the topic of my birthday, by the time you're watching this, it was probably a week or two ago, I got something that I wanted, didn't know that I necessarily really needed it until I got it. And staying on the topic of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, we've got the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes phone case, iPhone 12.
iPhone 12.
Super sick. I am very happy to have this. They had a couple of different options. I think they had like 2 different designs for all of the wrestlers they had on there. They had Roman Reigns. They had, I want to say, potentially Rey Mysterio or someone from the LWO. They had some LA Knight. They had Cody Rhodes. This one, in my opinion, was the best looking one on the website. And it's like the rugged cell phone case, it said like on the listing. But I will say, fairly slippery.
Very slippery. But with that being said, it's not a phone case.
No.
It is
Quality
like
stuff.
it's pretty quality. That is my one thing that I've always been worried about. Like buying a phone case like that, is I'm like, yeah, is my phone gonna hold up in there? Seems like it will probably hold up in there.
Yeah.
That's not a plug. That's just
It's
in
the
case
truth.
you guys want to. We bring the truth to the people.
I just got a little more wrestling in my life.
Yeah, man. Last and certainly not least, possibly the greatest thing that I've gotten in this haul, and that is the top picks, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend figure. Great condition, still in the box, damn near perfect condition. And this is something that, of course, as soon as I saw it, I had to grab it. Don't see, seeing a Fiend figure in store, especially now, after he, posthumously seeing a Fiend figure in store, it feels really wrong not to buy it, especially if you don't have one. But yeah, man, Bray Wyatt, absolute legend. First ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I know Mark agrees, so maybe we'll be there when he gets inducted. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be really cool. I think Philadelphia is the city where he made his return to WWE. So him being inducted to the Hall of Fame there, I think would be very cool.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. We miss you. We love you. Rest in peace, Wyndham Rotunda. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, top picks, WWE action figure. Very happy to have it in the collection.
Moving on, that was Dylan's last item. And I have 2 items, probably my most recent purchases and potentially my favorite purchases that I've ever gotten. I was at this antique store local to my town. I've been there a few different times and I've never seen this stack before. I usually search the whole place. It's 3 stories, it's massive. The basement's usually where all the cool stuff is. But I was in this one little area and I saw this stack of magazines. There was probably like 40 of them in there. And then as I started to get a closer look, I noticed they were wrestling magazines.
Would you look at that?
And they had a lot of super old ones, like 1950 was the earliest one I saw, and then it ranged all the way up to like the mid-70s. And so this one I got just because I think it is incredibly sick and super gnarly, and depending on if this video gets blocked, this may be blurred. So if you're seeing a blurry magazine, head over to our social media and I'll post it on there. But this is the Crusher Lazowski magazine right there. I believe this is circa 1966. This was going for 50 cents. Again, I just love this old-fashioned stuff, especially with like wrestling, because it was just like way different back then, obviously. But this is something that I'm going to keep forever, legitimately. Wrestling world, and I just think it's going to be something super cool to have hanging up in the background. And I'm going to show you the other magazine that I got. All right, and the second magazine I got is The Ring Wrestling. This is from 1973, October. And this one, honestly, the way I was trying to figure out which one to get was who was on the cover. This one's got Bruno Sammartino and Pedro Morales on the cover. Right there. This one, again, super sick. Both in pretty good condition, almost new. And again, just something that's super cool to have and hanging up behind for videos. And then you've got official world ratings too of the wrestlers right there during that time period. So again, this is something that it's just cool to have. And you know, when you're bored, you can just like skim through it and just like really get a good history lesson on professional wrestling just to see what it was like during this time. Okay, that's gonna wrap up our haul. We each probably had like 4 or 5 things. Again, nothing massive, but just things we've slowly been piling up and purchasing over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If you want to stay up to date with when we purchase this stuff, you should definitely follow us on social media, because all the stuff we get goes on there first. You can follow us on X at The Burnt Hammer, and you can follow us on X. Everything else at The Burning Hammer.
On X. You think that's what Elon Musk did when he created the name? He was like, dude, I've got it. X. That was probably what that nerd did.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that bell in the bottom right corner so you get notified every single time we release a new YouTube video, and make sure to listen to the Burning Hammer podcast on Apple, on Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Plus, you can watch that on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe, because we do a ton of fun videos, we do a ton of sketches, and we will do a podcast episode occasionally. With that being said, that's going to wrap up the video. We will catch you in the next one.